Hey everybody, Wendy Devereaux here. Welcome to my channel. If you would like to see how I made this shadow box beach themed tray, then please keep watching. So I'm giving you a bird's eye view again of the items that I'm most likely going to be using for this DIY today. And I will leave a complete list of all the items that I end up using in my description box, and I will point them out as I'm applying them onto my piece because I just like to get going on my project. But I will point out a couple of things. I have some extra shells that I had done up from my last video, my beach canvas, and I will be utilizing some of those, and I will be blinging up some extras that I have here. And I have these little banks. They're like a shadow box, and I'm going to be utilizing those to make my tray today. I got those at Dollarama. They were $4 a piece, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to scrape this black lettering off of there. So yeah, you guys, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to paint a few more of my seashells, and I'm going to paint this little guy in gold because he's got a little bit of brown in there. If you haven't seen my last painting, my beach theme, this is what I did with my shells. And I ended up putting, I think it was about 2 coats. Okay, and then this is the silver metallic Liquitex. This one kind of has a grayish color to it, so it will be perfect. The silver will cover it up nicely. And now I'm going to paint a few more in my white pearl metallic. I like the white pearl because it keeps the natural color, but it gives it a nice metallic sheen. Okay, so I'm going to paint a couple in my rich espresso metallic. I had added this in my painting in my liquid glass to make kind of some of the waves. And I think I want to just paint a couple of my shells in this color. I don't know if I'm going to use them or not, but I'm going to have them ready. Well, my paint is all dry on my shells, and now I'm going to add some of my rhinestone bling wrap on some of them. And I'm going to start with that one. I'm just going to wrap it around the perimeter of this little, I think these are oyster shells. Okay, and then I'm just going to take some of my clear Elmers glue. Just going to add a little bit here in the center. And I'm going to add some of my gold crushed filler glass in the middle here. Oh, that'll look really pretty. Yeah, I'll just set that one to dry. Hardest part is which one to choose. That's the hardest part about this. I think I'm going to cut another row of 1 here. And I'm just going to follow this natural round line on this little shell. There. Easy peasy. Okay, I will finish glamming these up and then I will bring you back. Okay, so my shells are all blinged up. I'll just show you this little guy. Isn't he cute? I just added a couple of little shells up on the top here. And now I want to work on my tray portion. So I was able to scrape off the black, and these are the backs, and it's not cardboard. I don't know what it's made out of, but the first thing that I need to do is paint these white. Okay, so I'm just using a craftsmart inexpensive white. This piece is all dry now. I painted both of them in white, the bottoms and the top. And then that way I have a nice clean finish. But I need to tape off the perimeter of the bottom of my tray because I have about 1/4 of an inch lip right here. So when I put it back together, I need to make sure that nothing impedes it from sitting nice and flush here. And then I'm also going to be adding some of this gold bling wrap, Recollections. I picked it up at Michael's. Okay, so I have both of the bottoms of my tray taped off, and I'm just going to be doing one on camera. Because this is a shadow box type tray, I need to make sure that I have clearance with my shells. So I need to pick out the shorter shells because obviously if I put a tall one in here, I'm not going to be able to put the bottom back on. So these are all the tall ones and some of them aren't, but I want them on the top side of my tray. And you'll see what I mean later on in the video. These are all the shorter ones that I'm going to use. And just like my painting that I did, my blingy beach theme painting, I'm going to be using my DecoArt liquid glass as a pouring medium, as well as like it holds, it glues all of my shells down. And I'm not going to need a lot. Okay, and I'm just going to add some white into here. You don't need a lot. And some of my Liquitex silver. And this is the light gold. And this is the rich metallic. And these are just my colors. You can use whatever colors you want. Okay, and then I have some gold crushed filler glass from Michael's. And it comes in these little jugs. Ashland brand. And I have some of these crushed shells. It's also a filler, Ashland brand from Michael. Okay, and now I'm going to add my white. And then I'm just going to take some of the gold. Just wiggle some in. Some of the silver. And some of the espresso. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a straw and blow some of it. Okay, and then the rest will, as it dries, it will branch out a bit. I'm going to take this one here. I'm going to take some of my gold crushed filler glass. Okay, I'm going to take some of my broken shells. There. Okay, so after about 30 minutes, when I know that my liquid glass isn't moving anymore, I'm going to pull this tape off. Okay, so I have a couple of things going on with the bottoms of my tray here. I added too much crushed glass and broken shells, and it covered up all my marbling on the inside, like in the center part. But I'm going to be okay with that, because thinking about it now, when it's in the shadow box, I think I'll be able to see this stuff better. It's not like it's a painting and it's on the wall, but it's still really, really pretty. It still kind of has that foamy look to it, which I really, really love. And then I took the tape off a little too soon. I wanted to go to bed and I didn't want to leave it on overnight. And then the liquid glass, it moved and shifted on me, but I'm going to be able to fix that too. Okay, and then the next step now is I'm going to take my gold bling wrap. I've cut it into rows of 2, and I'm going to be applying it like so. So I'm just going to put my gold bling wrap along the perimeter here. Okay, so the bling wrap is all the way around the bottom of my tray. Now what I need to do is add bling wrap along the sides of my shadow box here, because I want to cover this up, right? This here hole. And you don't need to use this bling wrap. You can use diamond wrap, whatever wrap you have on hand, or anything else that you would like to add on it. See if I can do this while it's facing you guys. Give a little look here before I press that down. Okay. So I'm just going to finish adding my bling wrap to the inside of my shadow box. Okay, so the bling wrap is on the bottom of my tray and on the inside of my shadow box part of my tray, right? And I ended up putting one more row of the gold bling wrap around because I want to make sure that there isn't any white. When I put it together, I want to make sure that there isn't any white showing. And the only other thing that I want to make sure, if you're using something like this, these little slots for where you put the coins in, I want to make sure that they are going to be on the inside so that when I glue it together, they're going to be camouflaged in there. And I also want to make sure then my shells are, oops, facing the way that I want them when I put this together. Okay, let's see what these look like when I turn them over. Ooh, that's not bad. Oh, that's very, very pretty. Let's see what this one looks like. Oh, that's very pretty as well. The inside of my tray is all done. And now I want to glue these 2 pieces together. Okay, so I'm going to be using some E6000 and some hot glue to glue these 2 pieces together. I'm going to put it together. I'm going to use these larger pearl beads as my little feet. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue those on. My dog is eating. That's if you hear that chomping noise, that's what that is. He's a hungry little monkey. Okay, so I have my little bun feet on there. And the next thing that I want to do is add more bling wrap to clean up all of these seams here. I have all the bling wrap on my tray that I want, and it is looking so, so pretty. And now what I want to do is, in keeping with the beach theme canvas that I did, I want to use these little rings as my handles, and I'm going to add some shells to them, just like I did with the little ring on top of my canvas. Maybe put one of the brown ones on here, the rich espresso. And I have some of my crushed shells. Maybe just add a little piece right here. There. So the next thing that I would like to do is arrange the shells on my tray the way that I think, this one is so pretty, I would want them. And I have these little starfish from totallydazzled.com. I use them in my painting. There's a little buckle on the back, and I just use some wire cutters here, and they come off really, really easily. And then here are my little handles. Okay, everybody, here's the finished look. I'm very pleased with the way this tray turned out, and it goes great with the painting that I did in my last video. This is so much fun to do, blinging up all those shells. Just give you a little look from the side here with my little pearl bun feet. I've noticed a lot of gold lately in Winners, in HomeSense. And I like using those rings as my handles. Like, I wouldn't pick the tray up with them. They're not sturdy enough. But because I put that ring on my canvas, they're perfect. Be nice to put some fairy lights in here. This little cluster here that I've glued on. I think this one right here is my favorite. I like putting the two little shells on the tip of that one. Yeah, very pretty. I really like this. So yeah, you guys, if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. It feeds the algorithm. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Go ahead and hit that notification bell and you will be notified when I upload all my future videos. And as always, you guys, I so appreciate you taking the time to watch, and God bless.